I watched A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the full season at this point. There are only 6 episodes, of course, and we're gonna do a spoiler discussion for the finale. I really enjoyed the show. I mean, I think it might be a little overrated. Like, I keep on seeing people going like, "This is the best. This is up there with peak Game of Thrones," and it's just like, let's just settle down, okay? Everybody's very excited, happy for you. It's a beautiful thing to be enjoying a show. It's not like it's not like the Red Wedding, okay? Like, what are we? what are we saying? Okay, it's not like the writing and the characters. It's not peak Game of Thrones. It's good Game of Thrones. Don't get me wrong, but peak. Let's just all simmer down, okay? Everybody's heated. Let's simmer down a notch. But anyways, let's do a bit of a deep dive into the finale. So we start off with this scene where Dunk is having a conversation with his friend here. I don't know. Overall, I really like this character. He does take this like weird stance in this conversation of like, I can be an asshole to the guy that died because he wasn't actually risking anything. Me and the other people that fought with you, we actually risked our lives, and it was like, I don't know. I don't even really understand. Well, I guess I understand the point he was trying to make, where he was like, that guy didn't go into battle really thinking that he was going to die because the people that he was fighting, like his family mainly, probably weren't going to actually try to kill him. So it's like, I guess I understand the point that you're making, but it seemed like a really weird hill to die on. And it felt like a weird, like, I don't know, it almost felt like the writers were like, let's add some conflict here. So we're going to have this guy become like a debate pervert. It's to be like, oh, he actually didn't risk his life even though he died. I don't know. I thought this first scene was weird. He also asks Dunk to like come live with him and be like a brother for him, which Dunk interestingly rejects. And we obviously see where he goes at the end of the series, but it really does seem like this whole situation has just completely turned Dunk off from like trying to become a knight and, you know, seeking higher status in life because he kind of sees how just awful the higher status people in the world of Game of Thrones are. This was definitely a better scene where Dunk is having a conversation with the son of the guy that died, and he has that really good line where he was like, many sons, or what is it? Yeah, many sons have died in their father's armors, but how many fathers die in the armor of their sons, or whatever? And very, very poignant line, very sad line. You feel for this kid. He seems to be. Well, actually, what's going on with his hair? I'm actually not sure. Like, it's kind of white, but also brown. Is this like related somehow to like Rhaenyra? Bringing in or having that affair with the guard, and so did she like officially like interject brown hair genetics into the Targaryen line? Is that kind of what's going on here? I'm not sure. Dunk's interactions with this guy are also really great. Like the fact that this guy now has to deal with the political ramifications of his brother, who was like the heir to the throne, dying and getting a bunch of accusations because of that, but also clearly himself dealing with the tragic loss of his brother. Like, I wonder if that's an aspect that we're gonna explore in the next season, because I was hearing from people that apparently the Dunk and Egg books aren't like, these characters don't carry over. The only characters that carry over into the sequel book or novella, whatever, are just Dunk and Egg. So I don't know if we're gonna see any of these characters again, or if they're gonna like strictly follow the source material. But yeah, his conversation with Dunk was great. The sort of conversation about mourning, where Dunk brings up sort of how he's been grappling with it. This is also the scene where The guy actually offers Dunk the offer to be a knight and take up Aegon as a squire, which that's also just another aspect of this. I'm like, I just don't know if I would buy that. This idea that this guy would just like offer up a job to the guy who technically kind of sort of got his brother killed. I don't know. And honestly, frankly, that also, and obviously it's all fair, but like brutalized his his son. This is like the one element of this world that I'm just like not fully bought into, because this is of course the Game of Thrones world. Like the notion that like these Targaryens would be as, you know, nice after all of this. I just part of it did sort of take me out of the show. But obviously Dunk rejects them, and we see what Egg does later on. We also get a scene with another one of the brothers where he basically convinces Dunk to take on Egg. And the argument he uses is that the asshole brother at one point was a cute little kid, was a nice little kid. And just being a part of this whole Targaryen bullshit turned him into a sociopath. And so, I mean, that was a really nice scene, seeing Dunk kind of get like a sense of purpose again, because this whole situation has almost left him purposeless. To see him realize that he could have a purpose again in doing what his mentor did for him. That was nice. And then we kind of end up going back and forth where Dunk has a couple more conversations, and he goes back to the dad, and he's like, listen, I'll take on Egg as a squire, but he's going to have to come live with me. We're going to travel the road or whatever. And the dad is like, no. He's my only son, and he will not live like a peasant. And and then Egg comes back, and he's like, oh, my dad actually gave me permission. But did he, though? We'll find out in the after credits scene in a Game of Thrones show. But I think the funniest part is this final shot where they do the Fast and the Furious 7. I'll see you again. where you have the mentor guy. I keep forgetting what his name is. Like Arlon, something like that. Whatever. He like the ghost of his mentor. Like, actually, let me play this. It's like, oh, I'm taking a different path. I can't tell if this is good or corny. Either way, I like it. And then, yeah, we get this, like, after-credit scene. Well, not after-credit scene. Mid-credit scene with the dad being like, where's Aegon? So, I do think we are going to see these characters again in the second season. Because you would imagine that at some point in the season, the Targaryens are going to go there's going to be a manhunt for Egg, and then they're going to find Dunk and Egg, and they're going to be like, oh, you kidnapped my son and I'm going to kill you now. And then Dunk is going to be like, oh no, it was a misunderstanding, he lied to me again. So yeah, you assume that's all going to play a part in the second season. But overall, really enjoyed the series. I think it is absolutely a breath of fresh air in today's climate. I kind of made the point last week about Superman and A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, where it's like right now I feel like what we really need is just good guys being good, doing good in this horrible world that we exist in. And everything that's going on. And this is definitely catering to that, and I appreciate it for that. But let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.